In this video, I'm going to show you some basics of formatting a document in Microsoft Word. Now, you may have used Microsoft Word a lot, you may have formatted lots of documents in it, but specifically I'm going to show you how to use styles and the benefits that those bring when you are writing a research report or creating something that you're going to then take to publication or for your dissertation or thesis. So for starters, you need to understand that Microsoft Office allows you to use styles. You see up here, you have different styles available. You also have formatting. So in the past, most people, when they want to change the formatting of a bit of text, they'll use this font panel or the paragraph panel. The problem with doing that is that, first of all, Microsoft Office doesn't understand why you're formatting something the way that you do, and if you change your formatting on something, it's not updated throughout the document. So for example, I have these two headings, an introduction and a theoretical framework. These are two sections in my paper. If I decide to make this bold for some reason, that might be great. I might go through and bold everything, all the headings that are like introduction. The problem with doing that though is what if I decide later to change this formatting? If I decide, well, it shouldn't be bold, it should be italicized, then I have to go through and do that for every single one. There are other reasons that this is problematic as well, but that's the big reason. Now, styles are nice because they allow us to recognize, or they allow Microsoft Office to recognize that certain bits of text have meaning and to apply styles, and apply formatting to bits of text based on their meaning. So, for instance, we have a normal style set here. When you first start typing, everything's going to be normal, and that's great because this is our base style set. If I wanted to get rid of this this first paragraph indent, for instance, I could just come here and press delete or move the caret symbol like this. The problem with doing that though is I have to do that for every single paragraph, and if I create a new paragraph, it may or may not be the same way. So what we can do instead is adjust the normal style set. So if I right click on normal, go to modify, it'll bring up some formatting very similar to what you see over here, but the difference is anything that I change in here will be applied to all of the normal text in my document. So if I want to get rid of that first line indent, I can go to Format Paragraph and see my indentation. I have a first line at 0.5, so I'm going to make that none. Click OK. And you notice that it's adjusted over here. Now click OK. So now every single paragraph that I create, as long as it's normal formatting, will be like that. Now I can still come in, I can do this kind of stuff. I can apply formats to this, but if I ever want to take it back, I just have to select it and click normal again, and it'll take it back to normal. So that's the normal style. Now the next style that we'll deal with are headings. So introduction is a heading. Up here you see you have a couple headings. You can also do the drop down and see more, or you can go to apply styles, and here you can find, if you click this button as well, you can find much more. So you have heading 1, heading 2. I created a fake one here, so just ignore that for now. But what headings allow us to do is to tag text and tell Microsoft Word that this is a heading. So if I select this text, I'm going to make this a heading 1. It means it's a first level heading. I'm going to do the same with theoretical framework. Now this I'm going to treat as a heading 2 because in my theoretical framework I'm going to talk about one theory and then we'll talk about another theory. Now notice when I apply this, it doesn't change any of the formatting. That's because heading 2 is the same as the normal formatting, but it does tag it. So when I click on it, you notice it is tagged as heading 2. I'm going to do this to heading 1 here as well, and my references I'm going to do heading 1. Now the really nice thing about this, as I mentioned at the beginning, is that if I decide that all my headings need to be bolded, all I need to do is come up here, click Modify, and do bold. Now when I do that, that is applied to all of the heading 1 headings. So if I decide my heading 2 needs to be italicized, I can go to Modify, italicize it. Maybe I want it to be centered as well, do that. So if we're doing APA, we want to be sure that our headings align with APA formatting, which is what I had at the beginning. So in APA, heading 1 should be centered and heading 2 should be left aligned, and we should not use bold or italics. So headings are useful, and the other useful thing that this does, since we're tagging them this way, is now if we go to View and turn on the navigation pane, Microsoft Word creates a little table of contents here that allows me to jump to different points of my document very easily because it knows that they're headings. And notice that it indents Theory 1 and Theory 2 under Theoretical Framework because it knows that this is the heading 1 and these are heading 2. So that's great. Now let's move down to citations and references. So here I have a list of references that are not properly formatted. So if I highlight these, again, I could apply formatting just to these, but the problem is then if I add some more, they might not have the proper formatting. So what I'm going to do is use this citation style. You may not have a citation style. And the way to create one, if you don't have one, is to go, click change, to come here, click apply styles. And if you don't have a citation, you can just type in citation. So if I were to type in a new one, once you had it typed in, you click new. But since I already have one, I'm going to click modify and you'll see the same thing. So if you just created a new one, you'd see the same thing here. And now you create whatever formats you need for citations. So I want to go to format paragraph. I want a hanging indent at 0.5, keep double spacing and so forth. And then click OK. So now if I decide that I need to change formats, all I need to do is change my citation style and it'll apply to everything. Or if I add new text that needs to be properly formatted, I can just apply the citation style to it and it'll work that way. So this will save you a lot of work if you learn to do it properly. And it's also nice, especially if you're working collaboratively on documents, to help other people to use all the same formatting. And it means that all the formatting throughout your document can be uniform.